Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to read a story using our reciprocal teaching techniques and the Fab Four. But before we read these stories, we need to review the Fab Four. So the Fab Four are predict, question, clarify, and summarize. When we predict, we use evidence from the pages of the story to think about what might happen in the story. We think about the author's purpose or their reason for writing the story and how it might go. You use your crystal ball to look into the future of the story. When we predict, we say sentences that start with I think, I predict, or I believe that. Our picture on this slide is of our crystal ball. When we see that image, we know we are going to be predicting. When we question, we use what we have read in the story to ask and answer story-specific questions. We ask questions using question words and elaborate on our answers using text evidence. Our question words are who, what, where, when, why, and how. The symbol that we use for question is a microphone because you're saying your question into a microphone. When we clarify, we use text evidence and our previous knowledge to determine the meaning of a new or unfamiliar word. We can reread the story or use context clues to clarify new words. Our symbol for clarify are glasses. When we summarize, we are identifying the main idea of the story and using text evidence to support our ideas. You use what you have read in the story to state opinions and thoughts about the story. We think back to the predictions you made before reading and see if they actually did happen. Our picture for summarize is a little piece of paper with a pencil. Two summarizing strategies we will use during this Think Aloud are the 10-word summary, in which we create a summary using only 10 words, and the SWBST strategy, in which we talk about someone who wanted something, but this happened, so then. I will explain that a little bit more when we get to the end of our story here. What do good readers do? Well, boys and girls, good readers make predictions, they ask questions, and they visualize what is happening in the story. That means that they make pictures in their head. They reread sentences if they can't remember what they read or what it was about, and they ask for help when they don't know a word, or they use context clues. They also make personal connections with what they are reading. While I read the story today, I will show you how good readers read a book. Today, we will be reading Room on the Broom, written by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. Before reading the story, good readers make predictions. When I look at the cover and think about the title, I can make a prediction for the story. I think this story will be about a witch and her cat, because there's a witch and a cat on the cover. I predict that they will run out of room on their broom, because that is in the title. Room on the Broom. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair and a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat. Wait, boys and girls, I have come to a word that I do not know. When a good reader comes to a word that they do not know, they stop and clarify. In order to clarify the word wailed, I will think about what is happening in the story. I know that the witch has lost her hat and that it is blowing away. I think that would make her sad. Maybe the word wailed is just like the word cried, and the witch is sad about her hat. When the wind blew so wildly, it blew off the hat. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with a hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. Oh, wait, boys and girls, I have come to another word that I do not know. Remember, when a good reader comes to a word that they may not know, they stop and clarify. I don't know the word clambered, but by looking at the picture of the dog on the broom, and I know that the dog wants to go on the broom, and the witch said yes, I think the word clambered must mean climbed. So the dog climbed on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and forests they flew, the dog wagged his tail and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow and from her braid just like that. I noticed something in on this page. On the right side, I see a picture, and I can see the bow falling, and I see some type of animal in the tree. What is going to happen to the witch's bow? Will she get it back? Let's find out. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with a bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low. Boys and girls, I'm remembering back to my question from the last page. And the witch did get her bow back. Then said as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Oh, I'm going to make a prediction. I think that the witch will let the bird join them on the broom. I also think that that broom must be getting very heavy. Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wands could be found. Good readers notice patterns while reading. I noticed the picture on the right side of this page looks a lot like the picture on the page where the witch lost her bow. I think that the animal in this picture will return the witch's wand. I am also noticing something very special about the words in this book. Boys and girls, this book is a rhyming book. Do you notice that the ending sounds are the same throughout these pages? Keep listening for the rhyme as we finish the story. Then, all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand and on a fold of her cloak, I am a frog as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch, so the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy and remember that good readers make predictions while reading, not just before reading. I think that the broom is getting too heavy with all of the witch's new friends. The broom snapped in two. Boys and girls, my prediction came true. The broom was too heavy with all of the witch's friends and it broke. There was no more room on the broom. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. I wonder what made the roar that the witch heard at the end of this page. We will find out when we keep reading. But first we have to stop. Good readers use the Fab Four techniques during, before, and after they read. We can summarize in the middle of a story to make sure that we are understanding what has happened so far. I am going to make a 10-word summary to see if I am understanding the story so far. The friends broke the witch's broom and danger was coming. I think that sounds pretty good. Let's find out what the danger is. I am a dragon as mean as can be, and witch with french fries sounds delicious to me. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help, cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, just this once I'll have witch without fries. But just as he planned to begin his feast, from out of the ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird, and its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, buzz off, that's my witch. Remember, good readers ask questions while they read. What is this mysterious creature that is standing up to the dragon? The dragon drew back and he started to shake. I'm sorry, he sputtered. I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly. And he spread his wings out and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and phew, said the dog. And thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you, I'd be in that dragon's inside. I think that creature was made up of a combination of the witch's friends. They came to her rescue. Then she filled up her cauldron. Boys and girls, I am unsure of the word cauldron. When good readers come to a word they do not know, they clarify. I'm going to use the pictures on this page to figure out what a cauldron is. I think it must be that black bowl that the witch is using. So the witch filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, find something, everyone, throw something in. So the frog found a lily, the fat cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well, and while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Ickety, ziggety, zaggety, zoom. Then out rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird and a pool for the frog. Yes, cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Boys and girls, this is the end of our story. What do good readers do when they finish a story? They summarize. We are going to do a SWBST summary for this story. So, who was the story about? Our story was about the witch who wanted to find the things she lost in the woods, or in the wind. She lost her hat, her bow, and her wand. But each time she lost something, she found it and a new friend. They all climbed on her broomstick, which caused the broomstick to break. So all of her friends fell off of the broom. But in the end, the witch created a new broom that could fit all of her friends. Thank you for listening to this read aloud and talking through the reciprocal teaching techniques with me.